I'm Dr. Frita. Today, I'm going to give you ways to lower your blood pressure naturally and quickly. High blood pressure or hypertension is a leading cause of heart disease, strokes, kidney failure. 45% of adults in America have hypertension, and 90% of adults over the age of 65 have hypertension. Now, there are many medications which can effectively lower the blood pressure. But as with most medications, a lot of the blood pressure meds have undesirable side effects. So what does that mean? That means that a lot of patients have been asking me, Dr. Frita, is there any way that I can lower my blood pressure naturally? As it turns out, yes, there are ways to lower your blood pressure naturally and without medication. Keep watching. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit that notification button so you know when I'm doing YouTube Lives. That's when I do a live question and answer session where I answer your medical questions in real time. There are many ways to lower the blood pressure without medications and naturally, but you must do so under the supervision of your physician. Every natural remedy is not for everyone. In fact, there is a select group of patients who may need medication as a part of their initial therapy. And I will let you know if you are a part of that select group at the end of this video. The definition of high blood pressure or hypertension changed in 2017 according to the American College of Cardiology and the American Heart Association guidelines. Please click the link below to see my video on an overview of hypertension for a detailed definition of hypertension and the mechanism of hypertension. Now, a normal blood pressure is a systolic or a top number of less than 120 and a diastolic blood pressure or a bottom number of less than 80. So if you have a systolic blood pressure of 130 or greater consistently, you have hypertension. And if you have a diastolic blood pressure of 80 or greater consistently, you have hypertension. So what can you do about it? Let's talk about ways to lower this blood pressure naturally. One way to lower the blood pressure naturally and quickly is by slow, deep breathing. Slow, deep breathing, that's all. When you take in deep, slow breaths, this causes the heart rate to slow down. It causes the blood vessels to dilate, and it causes the blood pressure to decrease. You just do slow inhalations for about 4 seconds, hold your breath for about 4 seconds, and then exhale slowly. And you repeat this for about 5 to 10 minutes. Another way to lower the blood pressure naturally is by having a low salt intake, a low sodium intake. So I really want you to become a label watcher. I want you to look at the back of the labels on the food you eat and see how much sodium you're taking in. No one should be taking in more than 2,400 milligrams of sodium in 24 hours. And if you are African American, if you have hypertension, if you have diabetes, if you have kidney disease, and if you're older than the age of 50, you should be taking in 1,500 milligrams of sodium or less. Does that seem like a lot of sodium? It's really not. So here we have some table salt, which I think most of us have heard at this point that doing too much table salt is bad. But I want you to really pay attention. A lot of my patients say, oh yeah, I don't do regular table salt, I do sea salt. And they think they can do all the sea salt they want. Or when they're really fancy, they do the pink Himalayan salt and they think they can just have a salt party with that. But if you are a label watcher, you will see that the sodium content is actually not that different in these salts. In this regular table salt, in a quarter teaspoon of salt, you have 590 milligrams of sodium. So think about it. You're really pushing that upper limit of your sodium in 24 hours already with just a quarter teaspoon. In this sea salt, ooh, that sounds healthy, sea salt. In a quarter teaspoon of sea salt, you have 560 milligrams of sodium. Not that much of a difference. So then how about in this fancy pink Himalayan sea salt? This looks so attractive. Well, in a quarter teaspoon of this pink Himalayan salt, also you have 560 milligrams of sodium. So remember, be a label watcher and make sure you know how much sodium you're taking in, because most people should be taking in 1,500 milligrams of sodium or less. Well, let's look at some food choices, because I know a lot of my patients say, hey, all these different salts you mentioned, they don't affect me because I don't add salt to my food. Well, a lot of times you can have a high salt intake even without picking up a salt shaker. How many of you out there like ketchup? I know I do. In just 1 tablespoon of ketchup, there are 160 milligrams of sodium. That's just 1 tablespoon. And I know most of you like a whole lot more ketchup than that. So make sure, again, you're watching the labels. What do you think about turkey? Smoked deli turkey? That's pretty healthy, right? Seems healthy. Well, in about 2 ounces of smoked deli turkey, that's 1 serving, there are 500 milligrams of sodium. So if you have a sandwich with only 2 ounces of turkey, you've already used up 1/3 of your maximum sodium intake for a day. So even with things that aren't seemingly unhealthy, there can be a lot of sodium. Watch the sodium. And here's my favorite. If you're on a vegetarian kick, really trying to get the animal fat and the animal meat out of your diet, if you do vegetarian sausage, here we have 2 vegetarian sausage links. Sounds healthy, right? Well, in these 2 sausage links, there are 300 milligrams of sodium. What's my point? In order to reduce your blood pressure naturally, you must have a low salt diet. So be a label watcher and pay attention to your sodium intake. Another way to lower blood pressure naturally is to eat certain foods that help to promote low blood pressure. For most people, potassium can assist in lowering blood pressure, and you should be taking in about 4.7 grams of potassium a day. Now, remember what I said at the beginning of the video. When you're lowering your blood pressure naturally, you must do it under the supervision of a physician. Everyone does not need a high potassium diet. In fact, if you have kidney disease, or if you are a person who has potassium that is too high, then you don't need a high potassium diet. In fact, you should have a low potassium diet, about 2 grams per day. But for most people who metabolize potassium normally, you should be getting about 4.7 grams of potassium a day. Consult your physician. So which foods are high in potassium? All right, so some foods that can help to lower the blood pressure naturally. Bananas, which are a high potassium source, as well as strawberries. Who doesn't love a good strawberry? That's a potassium source. Other foods, such as spinach, can help to lower the blood pressure. Garlic is another food that can help to lower the blood pressure. Garlic is pretty neat. It actually helps by decreasing the hardening of the blood vessels. Garlic has vitamin C. It also has vitamin B6. So it's another food that can help to lower the blood pressure. Onions. Onions are also helpful in lowering blood pressure. They have essential oils. They have vitamin B complex, vitamin E, vitamin C. Onions also have potassium. And another thing about some of these foods on this table is that they help to intensify the taste of sodium. So if you're decreasing the sodium in your diet, as you should be, but if you cook with things like garlic, spinach, onions, even putting lemons in your food, that can help you to still have very zesty, very tasteful food, and you will miss the taste of sodium less. So these are some foods that can be helpful in lowering the blood pressure. What else can help to lower the blood pressure? Celery. And some of you may have heard of that celery challenge. Celery is another food that can help to lower the blood pressure naturally. Celery contains coumarins, and it can help to improve vascular flow. It can help to decrease blood pressure. Celery has vitamins D, vitamin C, vitamins K. It has some alkaline properties as well. And studies suggest that celery has some anti-inflammatory properties. It's even been shown in some studies, some anecdotal studies, that celery can help to purify the skin. It can help hair grow. So it actually is a nice little secret weapon here, this celery. And yes, it's another way to lower blood pressure naturally. Another way to lower your blood pressure naturally is to have a low alcohol intake. Low alcohol intake. If you are a person who drinks excessively, if you have too much alcohol, then that will increase your risk of having high blood pressure. So if you are a man, you should have no more than 2 drinks a day. If you are a lady, you should have no more than 1 drink a day. And if you are a man who is over the age of 65, you should have no more than 1 drink a day. Not so fast. What is a drink? I know a whole lot of people have different definitions of what 1 drink is. I've seen people pour 12 ounces of hard whiskey and call that 1 drink. That's not a drink. There are very specific guidelines as to what 1 drink of alcohol is. It is 12 grams of ethanol. So how does that translate? Beer, for example. 1 drink of beer is 12 ounces. 1 drink of wine is 8 ounces. So an 8-ounce glass of wine constitutes 1 drink. And when you're dealing with stronger alcohol, like an 80 proof liquor, then only 1.5 ounces is 1 drink. Let me show you. Here are a couple of samples of what constitutes 1 drink of alcohol. Here we have some red wine. This is exactly 8 ounces of red wine. That is 1 drink. If you're at a restaurant and someone gives you a great big huge goblet, a 32-ouncer of wine, that is not 1 drink. 1 drink is 8 ounces of wine. And then let's say you happen to have a martini or something with some vodka, and your vodka is 80 proof. This is exactly 1.5 ounces of 80 proof liquor. That is 1 drink. If you have a bartender who is heavy-handed and decides to fill it to the rim with vodka and put a little splash of something else in there, that is not 1 drink. 1 drink of 80 proof liquor is 1.5 ounces. So again, in order to lower your blood pressure naturally, you want to have a lower alcohol intake. 2 drinks a day for men or less, 1 drink a day for women or less, and for men greater than 65 years of age, 1 drink a day. Now, I do want to touch on supplements as another way to lower blood pressure naturally. Remember, every supplement is not for everyone. So if you're using supplements, you must, again, do it under the supervision of your physician. One supplement is fish oil. Now, there have been trials to show that fish oil can help to lower blood pressure. In fact, there was one meta-analysis of 70 randomized trials, and it demonstrated that fish oil actually can reduce the blood pressure, both the systolic and the diastolic, in people who have normal blood pressure and in people who do have a diagnosis of hypertension. They actually got the best results in people who were untreated. So fish oil is a supplement that can reduce the blood pressure naturally. Another supplement which may help to lower blood pressure naturally is CoQ12 or coenzyme Q12. Now, there have been some studies to support this, but there also have been some mixed results. So let me just touch on it. CoQ12 is like a vitamin. It's found in the mitochondria of cells in the heart, the liver, the kidney, and it's believed to be anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. So it helps to fight free radicals, and it potentially can help to relax the walls of blood vessels, which would lower blood pressure. So CoQ12 is a supplement which can possibly lower blood pressure. And then there is hawthorn or hawthorn extract. Now, hawthorn extract is an herb that is found in hawthorn plants, and there are some studies to show that it may help in heart failure, and it may also help to lower blood pressure naturally, especially in conjunction with CoQ12. Again, there are no definitive, widely accepted, randomized controlled trials, but there are some anecdotal studies and some case reports to suggest that CoQ12 and hawthorn can help to reduce blood pressure. Again, make sure you consult your physician. Don't do these supplements unless you are under the supervision of your physician. Some other ways to lower the blood pressure naturally: get enough sleep. Most people should be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. If you don't have enough sleep, you will increase your chances of having high blood pressure. Exercise. Having at least 30 minutes of exercise, cardiovascular, resistance training. Do at least 30 minutes most days of the week, and that can help to reduce the blood pressure. In fact, it can help to decrease that blood pressure by as much as 5 to 15 millimeters of mercury. So exercise, another natural way to decrease blood pressure. Doing yoga, doing meditation can also decrease the blood pressure. Here's a big one: reduce your stress. When you are stressed, you send up your hormones such as cortisol, adrenaline, you tighten the blood vessels, the blood pressure goes up. So reduce your stress. And if people are running you ragged and if they're putting too much on you, you have to learn how to tell people no. If you don't know the art of telling people no, blame it on me, Dr. Frita. Say, my doctor told me to tell you no in order to improve my blood pressure. Please click on the link in my description so you can watch my videos on ways to reduce stress. Oh, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that there is a select group of patients which may very likely need medications as a part of their initial therapy. Are you in this group? Here's the group. If you have kidney disease already, if you have had a stroke, if you have had heart disease, then you must consult your physician, and you may actually need medications, at least as the initial part of your therapy. Again, any lowering of blood pressure you're doing, do it under the supervision of a physician. This ends my overview on ways to lower blood pressure naturally, how to lower blood pressure without medications. Please like my video, please share my video, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and be sure to hit that notification button so you know when I'm doing YouTube Lives. That's when I give you a live question and answer. You can actually ask me questions in real time and I'll answer. Also, please follow me on Instagram at Dr. Frita. If you are curious to see what I do in my everyday life as I try to live my own healthy and happy life, follow me on Instagram and on other social media platforms. I thank you for watching. As always, I want you to prioritize yourself, take care of you, and do your best to live your healthiest, happiest life. I will see you next time. Again, thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Frita. Another way to lower your, you know what? Is this thing looking up my nose? I feel like it should, you know what? Never mind. It's fine. I'm sorry.
That's kind of funny though.
Okay.
Take 8.
This video is making me hungry. 16, that's a lot of takes.
Mine is less than usual.
So that's another way you can lower stress. You gotta do like this.
I'm good.